each person session or it's combined session?
Yeah, it's a combined system actually.
Why don't you keep it in a combined one? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope my screen is getting visible. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Veera.
yeah, hi everyone. So we are happily inviting you for a CNCF Madurai January event. So this is Veera. So I'm one of the event organizer for CNCF Madurai. So the today agenda is we are going to look into about we have a various sessions. The first one of how to optimize the data workloads using Argo Workflows and Kubernetes, which is taken by Ayyanar Jeyakrishnan. And then our next session will be cloud native 12 factors will be taken by Arun Nadarajan. And then our last session will be a Cilium introduction. Introduction will be given by Selvi. Okay, so this is our overall agenda for our today's session. So let's talk about our first speaker. Our first speaker is Ayyanar Jeyakrishnan. He is working as executive director and principal engineer in Wells Fargo, Bangalore. He has 18 years of experience in IT. He's passionate about multi-cloud architect and specializing in various cloud environments, which is AWS, Azure, and GCP. He is expertise in machine learning and data platform projects, and then he is also having a experience in DevOps and MLOps methodologies. He is very have a very prominent experience in cutting edge solutions and drive the uh, success in the evolving cloud and AI ML landscape. Yes, so this is all about our first speaker, Ayyanar. Will you start?
Sure.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah,
Let
yes,
me
Ayyanar, you can start.
let me know once you guys are ready. Shall I start? Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me know, guys. Let me once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, yes, we can see.
Okay, sure. Today, thanks for the good introduction, Veera. Thanks for it. Okay, so I'm AWS community builder. Today, I'm going to talk about the session optimizing your data and ML workloads using Argo workflow and Kubernetes. Argo workflow as well as Argo events. These works so closely. So we are going to talk about those session. So I'm going to split the session into two. I'm going to take a first 10 to 15 minutes about give you overview about what is Argo, the challenge, and what is the solution provided for the data on EKS as a stack. And we go another 15 minutes about doing the demo. Okay. And if you have any doubts, feel free to keep it on a chat and take up on your question. Okay. And who are in the call? Okay, if anybody worked on an Argo project before, feel free to put it on the chat. I can. It will be easier for me to correlate your use case, and I can give you much more add on it. Okay, so the quick primer to the Argo is right. So it's a stack. It's a CRD based stack. Okay, so you can do the deployment, rollout, workflow, events. It's all cloud natively deployed. Okay, so you will be deploying on top of the Kubernetes, and you do the complete CI/CD. There are four stacks in Argo under the Argo project. Argo is currently on the matured project. Okay, so on Argo, CD is used for automating the deployment. Let's say if you have uh, GitOps based deployment. So you keep your source code in your GitHub or your source code repository, and you want to make sure to maintain the state on the Kubernetes. You can use the Argo CD. So all you need to do is you just need to give your Git URL and keep your Helm chart or the file YAML file mapped, and it will make sure it maintained the state in a Kubernetes. And okay, it's for the CD. Okay, then we have our rollouts. rollouts for the deployments and the rollback, like a canary deployment, blue green deployment, and particularly if you guys want to do some deployment like 10%, 20% deployment in case of any issues you want to roll back. So all those things you can define in a declarative manner in Argo rollouts. So these are the other two stack, but today we are going to focus mostly on the workflow engine. Okay, so why we need a workflow? You can talk a number of use case on the machine learning or the generative AI. The very basic foundation for the things are the data. Okay, and data will not be in a consumable format for the machine learning. It need to go through the multiple steps, particularly cleaning, transforming, and ready for the consumption. So those thing need to be done in a distributed manner. Okay, so that's where this Argo workflow will come into the picture, where it will have a proper conditioner. It can work on a DAG format. Okay, and it will use the sequential format, it will use in a parallel format. Okay, so it will process the data according to our need to the final corrected data. Then events. So think like want to create a event based processing. Let's say you want to start every day 8 o'clock the process. That's a cron job, but still that as a trigger need to be done. So imagine if your condition met on certain position. Let's say if your data stored suddenly, if the data is coming to the history and that need to be triggered and passed on to the data processing, so that Arco events will helpful. At nothing but it will just use a someone sensor, and it'll be like act like a watchdog, and the moment that event comes it will trigger and it process the job. We are going to do some demo based on the workflow and events today. So this is just a primer about Argo. Let me go with my real-time data challenges. Okay, so we do have a requirement of do the data processing. The moment the data come into the history bucket, we want the Lambda function to process the data and store in a DynamoDB, and sometimes based on the condition of the data, we store it in Elasticsearch, sometimes on the RDS. Okay, it's all going fine. It's really scalable for us and it is working well. But the challenge is the moment the large file came, the data processing logic we kept on the Lambda function is not able to succeed. And it's no problem if it is more than 15 minutes, Lambda will be timing out. Okay, so that's what happened to us. Okay, then we want to take up the next task. Okay, anyway, it's already a code is there. What we did is we containerized the code and we deployed on top of EKS. Okay, good, it went well. Okay, and we added few more logic like calling the model, doing the batch inferences. Okay, so the moment data come to the S3 bucket, the forget job will start, read the data and do the batch inferences and store in a DynamoDB. It was working fine, but the problem, right, we are not able to do the distributed okay, because if in a Fargate it is going to be a single container where we are not able to do the distributed data processing. That's where we want to find out the solution. We cannot go for a different solution for use cases. We want one use case, one stack for building a data platform or data or ML platform. Okay, that's where we started looking at the project called Data on AS. Okay, so it's a compromise of multiple stack. Okay, it's infrastructure as a code. You can go to this URL, you can download, you can quickly deploy it. I'll walk you through this code. Okay, so any stack you take it, right, any data processing, it can be a Kappa architecture or it can be a Lambda architecture, okay, or near real-time architecture or batch processing architecture. This is a stack looks like, correct? So the data ingestion, here I mapped all the open source. At the beneath, you can see all the AWS native stack. So the data ingestion, mostly the data people, if you're using a clickstream data, you will send it to the Kafka. And for batch processing, we may be using a Spark or Beam or Dask. Okay. So do the batch processing and the stream processing. This is the distributed data processing I'm talking about. And the stream processing, the same thing. We can use a Spark stream, or you can use the uh, or you can use the Kafka streams. Okay, so then comes the ML platform. The Qflow is one of the platform, but is again natively built for the on the cloud native on top of a Kubernetes. That is also part of the CNCF. Okay, so if anybody want any have questions on the Qflow, reach out to me. I'm able to help based on my experience. Okay, then we have ML flow. ML flow is from the Databricks. Okay, and that will give a better lineage of your data processing and all the metadata information. And we have multiple frameworks. It can be a Spark, it can be a TensorFlow, a PyTorch, or Ray. Everything, all you can deploy this whole stack via infrastructure as a code. Okay, so we will go through those via code on the further slides. Okay, so it given the best practices. This code was built in such a way it built for the best practices. Okay, and you can submit the Spark job on EKS via EMR also, but we found Argo CD given us a better solution to handle this workload. And Argo CD is also part of the orchestration. If you look at it, orchestration, you can use the Airflow also, but you can use the Argo Workflow also. Again, Airflow has the operator, but Argo Flow Workflow is the native to the Kubernetes, so and is part of the CNCF. So we started using Argo Flower use cases. Okay, let me go to the next one. So this is what we are going to do the demo. So the moment you send a message to SQS, the Argo event will keep looking at the SQS event. Then it start invoking the uh, Argo workflow, and in turn Argo workflow will run an operator, and it's nothing but the operator will create a spark for the distribution. It will create one master, we call it a driver, and executor as a worker, and execute the job. Okay, so if this completely run on EKS, what is the advantage of using this? I can plug into any use cases. I containerize it and I can add it as part of my workflow. Okay, and execute it on EKS on demand with no. When I no need to run it for the compute for the all the time. We're using a carpenter behind which will do the auto scaling. Okay, I will go through those information also. So here I can do the ML batch inferences. I can do the data processing with this architecture. Okay, if this is a trigger we are using. You can use any kind of trigger, like you can use the SQS, SNS, and PubSub. It can be the event source, can be anything, and you can have a multiple triggers also. Okay, this part of the Argo events. Okay, this is the orchestration we are trying to do. Okay, so this is a demo. If anybody has a question, I will take it, or I will take to the next step of jump into the demo. I'm checking at the chat. So far, no questions, right? Okay. So this is a high level steps. First, I need to install all the prerequisites. Okay. Let me know you guys are able to see my console. Are able to see my console? I'll walk through one by one.
Yeah, yes, I can see.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And 1 minute. I will bring down this so that it will be transparent. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So let me go to the Argo hyphen version. This is CLI also available. I install the CLI also. Okay, and first step is I need to install the CLI. We have a Terraform also. Okay, I'll tell you why we need a Terraform. Terraform hyphen version. Yeah, 1.66, and I have installed the Helm also, I think so. Helm hyphen Helm version. Okay, I think I don't know the version command for this one. I think Helm hyphen Helm version, right? Yes, we have a 3.133 on Helm also there. Yeah, AWS also there. Argo C. Okay, all the things I have installed. Okay, let me go through the code. Okay, so this is a code I am talking about as a Terraform code. You can download this tag. Okay, and data on EKS. You have multiple things. If I want to talk about the AML use case, I can come down to the AML use case. I thought of first take the session on Jark Stack. I'll keep it for the next stack. Okay, Jark Stack is the ML stack, open source stack. Okay, it's nothing but a Jupyter, Argo, and Ray and Kubernetes. Okay, it's like how we use a mean stack or min stack for the open, full stack, or Jark is a stack for the data science. It comes with the complete information. Okay, so you can have a queue flow also. You just need to deploy this stack, okay, by following it. So here we are using a scheduler. I came to the scheduler, I came to the Argo workflow, and I all I needed then is I just did a Terraform install. Okay, so what does Terraform install happen? If I go here, this is will be the one. Okay, it created the EKS for us, and it installed the created it automatically create everything. It'll create IAM role, it'll create a EKS, and it'll create the proper policy. Okay, it do all the requirement for you. You don't need to do any heavy lifting. Along with that, this is what very important. Okay, this is we call it as an add-on. Okay, whatever the stack in as part of this data on EKS, as part of the Argo workflow you needed, it will install all the stack. It will go to the blueprint, and it will install all the add-ons. Okay, so add-ons are nothing but the one I'm talking about. Carpenter is one of the add-on. Okay, and so fluent bit is another add-on. Argo workflow and Argo events, look at it. This is what happened. So what does this Terraform will do is it will install all. First it create a VPC, then it will create a uh, EKS, then it will start installing the Argo workflow, Argo events. Everything will be done, and it will give you the better stack, and even install the Prometheus and Grafana also. Okay, they will install the Prometheus as a managed service, but if you don't want, you can go and delete it. And you Unicorn is another schedule. I say scheduler. Okay, not orchestration. Okay, so Spark History Server, Carpenter Provisioner, all the add-ons will be installed. If you go to the Terraform, you will see under the blueprint. Okay, you will see what are all the add-ons installed: events, rollouts, workflows, CD, everything. It will be installed by them. Okay, so that's the advantage of using a data on EKS as a stack. Okay, so if anybody want to try, please try it. Okay, so you can use the managed airflow also, but I want to do the testing the task stack of Argo workflow. Okay, good. The first step is to install the infrastructure. So I will show you from my console the EKS cluster also. So it installed the EKS cluster. If I go here, this is the EKS cluster installed. If I go for the clusters, it installed with the version. I done everything with Terraform only. Okay, so that's about the first part, which is the Terraform installation part. I think I have that code also, Terraform installed steps. Okay, but it take at least 45 minutes for me to install. So anybody want to try out, please make sure that you have that time. So the next step is about uh, running Argo's events. Okay, so that is very important. What are the Argo events? I install the Argo event. Let me go here. First, let me first check the kubectls and everything. Kubectl get nodes. I have 5 nodes, I think so. Okay, I can increase if you want, but the maximum node I set is a 5 nodes. The 5 nodes are running, and I'm running on 1.27. Running a 6 node. Yeah, I'm running a 6 node. Okay, and I can check the namespace. Even this namespace, everything will be installed by the. So I have separate namespace for Argo events, separate names for Argo workflow, And this is for the Spark operator. Unicorn, I told it for a scheduler. Operator is nothing but um, the operator for the Spark, which will in turn orchestrate the driver and executor. Okay, so let me give the next step of kubectl get pods Argo events. See, so what does it do is it create the event bus. Event bus act as a bridge between the source, which is SQS, and it will do the webhook and trigger the sensor. Okay, so I will go to the console and explain you. So, okay, and then I can. There's a console on minute. I'm checking the console. So I create some alias name for me. This URL Argo CNF. Okay. So this is the Argo CNF. Okay. So if you go here, oh sorry, I need to create a token. Argo auth token. So it's just create a token. I take the token. This is the URL, you will get it. Okay. So it run on a 2746. Okay. So I'll walk you through this console first, then I will take it here. It's only filtering on the default namespace. I take out the namespace and I will just go through this. I submitted multiple jobs and you see the status of the job. If it's succeeded. Okay. And also you will have a clone. I don't have any clone flow. Okay, event flow is what important. Okay, so here this is the event workflow. If the moment it comes here, okay, the SQS, okay, the moment message comes here, then there is a sensor will watch out, okay, as a watcher, and it will invoke the workflow. This is a workflow it will invoke. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the event driven workflow orchestration. Okay, if you go here, even there are event source. Currently we have only one event source. You can create any kind of events. Okay, that is also declarative. You can create any kind of events. Okay, first I will go and show you the event file as from the flat okay, so come here, events manifest. Okay, so event source as a SQS. So here we are keeping a queue name, which is this is CNC of Madurai I have created, and the region is, this is where the region it is created. Look at this is very important, which is a SQS. Okay, you can use any kind of event source, as I mentioned, PubSub, or even you can use yeah, based on your company requirement, you can do it. And here I applied all the policy. Okay, let me check what else I want to show you. Event source, okay, that is one file. Yeah, sensor is another file I want to show you guys. Okay, sensor, where's the sensor file? Yes, okay, this is the example we are using, workflow example. So if you go to the sensor, what does it do is, you can see it will trigger the Spark, the workflow. Okay, and it will launch the steps. Okay, this is a workflow they are talking about. It will launch the step Spark job start and Spark job done, and it will launch the container. Okay, let me show the containers. Okay, space, see, this is a container. It will start. Okay, Spark operator, it will start. Okay, and it will launch the driver, which I talked about it. Driver is I say considers a master for worker, and it will be run under the service account, and it will start the executors. Okay, see, look at this executors. You can have a minimum number of 4, and you can have a maximum number how much you want. So this will help us to the distributed data processing. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do example. Here we give all the memory requirement for the Spark jobs. Okay, so any questions on this before I am taking out the next one? So this, look at it, this is a kind I'm talking about, workflow. Okay, so it will trigger the workflow. Okay, okay, so This is a Spark YAML file. It's nothing but again it's run under the Argo workflow only. Okay, this is one example. This is Spark operator.yaml file. I think we have seen the same thing on the before execution. Okay, and this will combine of both. Okay, it will launch it when the sensor launch it. Okay, so now let us push the message. Okay, so before that I'll show you the console, how many jobs, what is the last executed job from the, it's a workflow. So we have job started 39 message 39 minutes back and it executed successfully. Let me go to the console and trigger one more message. Okay, and go to the AWS console. Okay, I am pushing the message to the CNC of Madurai on SNS, which we are keeping as a sensor. The moment I say message is CNC of Madurai, and what does it need to do? It need to just invoke the workflow and execute. Okay, see it started, and it'll be quick. Okay, so it started the job, the workflow started, and it will start the hello world job, and then it will it's parallel, it will do the dag. Okay, do the parallel execution, it do the um, created the Spark operator, and then it stated the job. Okay, so that's all will happen even if you go to the kubectl kube command. Also you can say kubectl get argo events. So you will see that's it started already. Okay, Spark, I can check for a Spark. Okay, get parts hyphen a, get Spark. You can see the execution. There are a lot of execution happening, but you can see this execution. It will be, this is what it will schedule. It will look for the event and it will start. So it is running that. Yeah, this is a taxi. Okay, so that's what happening now. So you can see the execution operator started, and that operator will invoke the driver. Okay, you can see the Spark grab driver. So driver will invoke the, yeah, look at this, this is a driver. It started already. Okay, and it will keep running, and then once it's so this job is succeeded. So you can check out the logs also from here. You can see the logs also from here. Okay, and this is a full dag one job with the event event. If you just to want to submit the job, it is very simple. You come here. Okay, workflow, I can take example of this job. Okay, so here I just did one very simple thing. Okay, um, container is very simple. Container Argo say it's doing this, it's echoing hello CNC of Madurai. I'm resubmitting it. Okay, or I, so if I go click on it, you can see in the logs it's just resubmit. The file is very simple. If you want to submit the workflow job, okay, it says hello CNC of Madurai. Now I'll give you a very basic example how to launch a job. Okay, now I created a end-to-end event job, but if you want to launch a very basic job, I'm here. This is the job. I will give you a different name hello CNC of Madurai January Jan meetup. Okay, and it says welcome all for January meetup. Here I'm just, the kind is workflow template. I create a template and launch it. Okay, so copy. I can do it from the UI also. We create a workflow template. Create. Okay, sorry, it's template is okay. Create new workflow template. Create. Okay, I will better. I'll submit a job directly. Submit a new workflow. Edit full workflow option. Come here. Paste it. So this is just a new say. We created the declaration here and just to say create. So you can see the job started. and it's a very simple job. It won't take much time. You can see hello gen cnc, so you can create, you at the same time if you want to orchestrate, what you need to do is you need to come to this my file, and here you have a template, right? You can have the multiple values, uh, like a parallel job or sequential job. You can do it and execute. So it's very simple. This is the advantage of using Argo workflow. And again, it's all versioned. If you are versioned this one, and it will make sure that a CD will maintain the state of this application also. So that's all I want to give you a demo. Okay, I hope I'm on the time limit. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer a few more.
Actually, it was interesting, Ayyanar. So I need to go through this video again, and will ask questions further to you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay, happy on this. Okay, I'm sharing my you. Okay, let me bring my screen on board. Okay, so thanks team for connecting. Okay, this is me. You, if you want, you can always connect with me on a LinkedIn. Okay, and feel free to share your feedback. And if you are interested in to know more about the AML or any interesting topics, feel free to look at my blog. You will get the newsletter as well as interesting blogs every week, bi-weekly.
I have one question. Like, can you share your code into GitHub? Like, we can.
No, I'll share in this slide. You have everything. Okay, it's all
Okay.
same code. Okay, which but I can fork it. So this is very important. This is what I mentioned, right? Okay. In this link, you can download the source code for deploying the stack. And in this blog, you can go for the step-by-step execution. Or even what I did is the Argo workflow example only. Okay, you go here, you can see the Argo flow example. I made some changes on my demo, but this is, you can follow this also, which will give you the better information.
Okay. Sure. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, we have one question from Thomas in the chat. Can we maintain different versions of workflow? And this is about
Workflow
GitHub.
version. Yeah, workflow will be versioned. Yes, yes. See, I can go and edit the same workflow, man. Okay, if I go, that's very important, right? Good question. Okay, so here, if I go, I will resubmit. Okay, I can edit this also and update it. Okay, yes, you can do it.
Yeah, okay. I hope, Thomas, you get the answer for that question. Yeah.
See, here is a manifest, right? So this is a hello CNC of Madurai. I am updating. Okay, I'm saying good question. This is an addition I'm adding. Okay, good question. I'm adding. Okay, 1 minute. I need to submit. Okay. Right. Yeah, you can do it. Okay. I'm saying it is version. It's versionable. That's where the Argo CD come into the picture, right? You can version it.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, you can feel free to raise your hand. You can ask, or you can share the question in the chat. Um, Otherwise, we will move on to the
So
next session.
space. Yeah, this is, you need to make sure you select the right namespace. This is a filter for the namespace. Okay, if you don't have any questions, good. Thanks for this opportunity for the CNC of Madurai, and happy that I connected with you guys. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Okay,
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Thanks. It's really great session. Yeah.
thank you.
So, okay.
Okay,
So,
bye.